What is up, everybody? We are back here at King Film Sports for the NFL Week 14 game picks and betting locks. But before we get into it, I have to encourage you all to please subscribe and like the video, as well as commenting your predictions down below. Also, we have a bevy of other related content, so be sure to check out that after you watch this video. So we get into the Week 13 action, and it was a great week for us. As we have been accustomed to this season. First, Thursday night, Bills -4.5 in New England. That was just so easy. Patriots offense looked lethargic there, so Bills win 24-10. Lions -1. Thought it might have been a high-scoring toss-up game. No, it was only high-scoring for the Lions. 40-14 drubbing of the Jags there at home. Then we had the Vikings -3. They almost choked that away. I mean, they did their best. Mike White and the Jets had a few late opportunities to potentially win the game, but they didn't. Vikings hold on, win by 5 there. Then, absolutely horrible beat. Commanders -1.5, and it comes out as a tie. We end up losing. I mean, I wouldn't have even been mad if the Giants won outright by 3, but just the fact that they tied that game and we don't end up covering because it's 1.5 was tough. Then Titans +6.5. I mean, they just got dog walked in Philadelphia. Treylon Burks going down really hurt them. Derrick Henry only rushed for 30 yards, so that was pretty tough. But then Niners -3 against the Dolphins was a great game, and their defense really came to play against Tua and that high-powered Dolphins offense, as well as Brock Purdy came to play in his own right, and the Niners win 33-17. Then the Bengals was a bold play to take them against the Chiefs, considering that they beat them twice last year, but they won again. They appear to be Kansas City's kryptonite, +120, good value. Then the Raiders, great value against the Chargers, +110 there. They get the win at home. Colts +10 looked to be a good play going into the fourth quarter, only down by 2, and then they just got blown up by 33 points, 33-0 in the fourth quarter it was, and they end up losing by 35, so that was tough. And then Monday night, we hit the under, Bucs Saints easily there as the Bucs get a good comeback victory there in the last few minutes. So betting locks on the season, we are up to 20.2 units after a +4.0 unit week in Week 13, and then the game picks doing great. We've had a renaissance in the game picks, up to 66% on the season there, which is always great. So now we get into the Week 14 action, and we have a bit of a minimized slate here with 6 teams on bye, but still have a few great picks. So Thursday night, Raiders at Rams. This one's pretty simple. Raiders -5.5, 3-game winning streak here. And I know the Rams played well at home last week against the Seahawks, divisional rival though. And John Wolford played pretty well. Then they had Perkins come in after Wolford got injured. I don't know who they're going to have starting in this game, but the Raiders just have it rolling. That offense, Devontae Adams, I know it might be a little tough to get the ball his way with Jalen Ramsey. That Rams defense has actually been playing pretty well. They stifled Mahomes and then Geno Smith last week. But I think the Raiders will be able to do enough, and the Raiders' defense really isn't too great, but I think they will be able to stop the Rams. I think they win this one by multiple possessions here. I don't think it's particularly close. Then we get to the Vikings at the Lions, and this spread is ridiculous. For a 10-2 versus a 5-7 team, the Lions at some places are favored. Still was able to get them at +100, though. It's basically a pick-em type game. And give me the Lions to win this one against Minnesota. These two teams played earlier, and the Lions really blew it in Minnesota. But the way that they're playing now, won 4 of their last 5 games, and that offense is popping off. Vikings defense is not good. I expect this one to be a track meet, and I expect the Lions get the split in this season series. I think the Lions are just a more hot team right now, playing the better football. Inspired under Dan Campbell, give me the Lions to win that one outright. I realize that the Vikings have been winning all these one-possession games. In fact, 9-0 in one-possession games this year. I think that streak comes to an end. I think they lose a close one here in Detroit, so give me the Lions there, although it could go either way. Next game, we've got the Steelers versus the Ravens, and I know this pick may come as a surprise to a lot of people because these AFC North matchups, Ravens-Steelers, always seem to be low scoring, but this total is just too low for me. Give me the over 36 points in this one because I have the Steelers winning. That's not the lock, but I just think that their offense is playing great right now these last few weeks. They played good against the Falcons defense. They played well against the Colts defense on Monday night. And they played good against Cincinnati, even though they lost that one a few weeks ago. So I think that the Steelers at least put up 20 points here. And I know people are writing off the Ravens without Lamar Jackson, but they're still a competitive team under Josh Huntley. He is a good backup quarterback in this league. He'll run around, make plays against this pretty good Steelers defense. So I think this one's a competitive game. I think it goes down to the wire, and I think you easily cover the 36-point total there. So give me the over. Next game, we've got the Titans and Jags, and two teams who had disappointing performances last week. Give me the better team here. Tennessee at home, -3. A couple of tough losses when you factor in that they lost at home barely to the Bengals week prior to losing to the Eagles on the road. I think that Derrick Henry, they need to establish him on the ground. Really hasn't been running too well, and I think they will be able to do it. This Jags defense just got absolutely torched by the Lions running game and Jared Goff. I think Ryan Tannehill can at least do that and then some, and then Derrick Henry gets it right on the ground. And Trevor Lawrence, I know he came back from that injury, but he just did not play well against that Detroit defense. You're going up against this Tennessee defense in a bounce back spot. I just don't see it there, so give me the Titans to easily cover the field goal spread at home. Next, we get to a very intriguing matchup in the afternoon slate. Bucks at Niners, Brady against Brock Purdy. This one's going to be an interesting matchup. I've got the Niners winning, but the lock is the under 38. I've usually been taking the overs on Niner games this year because of their plethora of offensive weapons. But with Brock Purdy here, I think he is a decent starting quarterback. Not as bad as Mr. Irrelevant would indicate, but I just think a 38-point total between these two teams. Sure, the Bucks got it going in the last 2 minutes, but before that, they were dreadful on offense. 3 points all game against the Saints. These are two of the top defenses in the league. I just expect this one to be very low scoring. Similar to that Bucks-Saints score, 17-16, somewhere around there. And I think it's just going to come down to a late field goal in this one. So give me the under there. Next, we get to the Sunday night matchup, Tua versus Herbert. Obviously, the storyline from the 2020 draft where Tua was drafted above Herbert. Both had tough games last week. Give me the Chargers, though, to cover the spread at home plus the 3 points. I think that Herbert will come to play here against the Dolphins defense. Dolphins defense has had some holes throughout this season, and I am a little bit scared that Tua has a little bit of a bounce-back game, but this is their second straight game on the West Coast, and Tua really kind of got exposed in that Niner game. So hopefully the Chargers defense can take some things from that one. Also getting a field goal here at home for the Chargers. So I think they went out right there. So give me LA to win at home. Then we have the Monday night matchup, Cardinals against the Patriots. Give me the Cardinals money line plus 110. Kyler Murray coming off the bye. This is a really frustrating team this year, but I think they get this one done. I just think they're the better team, and they're at home. They had a devastating loss before the bye to the Chargers. They just really need to get back in the win column, and I think Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins will have a great game here, even against a tough Patriots defense. And this New England offense has been pretty bad all year, so I don't think that they will be able to do very much to keep up with that Arizona offense. So give me the Cardinals. Good value as well at plus 110 there. So with that being said, let me know what your guys' predictions are in the comments down below for Week 14. Do you agree with my picks, or are you going separate ways? Let me know, and I will see you all in the next one.